That's not going to help. Move it, man! You give the piston a yank, and sure enough, it comes loose in your hands. Perhaps it was your raw strength. More than likely, it was defective. Good thinking! Wedged in the door, the manual override control causes the piston to strain against the door. It pushes a few inches and seems to strain at that point.
Wilco!
Oh, hi, Stellar. What are you doing here?
There's no time to talk, Roger. We've got to get out of here now. 1, 2, 3.
Just as you crash to the floor of the turbo shaft, the hydro riser piston gives way, and the door slams shut, with Stellar still trapped inside. You claw and pull at the seams of the bulkhead door, but to no avail. Just then, you hear and feel an explosion, which seems to have come from behind the door. The door is sealed tight. You can hear no other noise after the ear ringing from the blast subsides.
My God! I can't believe this! It can't be happening! She was... I was... Stellar!
It's hard to believe that this is the Hollow Suite. The setting is much like the graphics you've scanned in the library from those planets more interesting in their climatic diversity. From the scenic jutting peaks, soft hills, and lake in the conjured distance to the lush, pixelized growth of trees, flowers, and grass in the foreground, the holodeck has that sublime, park-like perfection. Unfortunately, its serene beauty is sadly negated by the headstones and the solemn event about to occur, the laying to rest of your rescuer and true friend, Stellar Santiago. You are feeling as you have never felt before, perhaps helped along by the relatively short stints aboard the various ships, as well as all too brief friendships. You've been spared the emotional devastation of true loss by lack of attachment. This, however, is a different feeling. Far different from anything you've ever experienced. You can't help but wonder how you'd act towards Stellar given a second chance. But you know that can never happen. She gave her life for you, and you will never be able to thank her. Enough smarm already. Let's funeral!
Ladies and/or gentlemen, we assemble here today to honor the memory of a former crewmate, Lieutenant First Class Stellar Santiago. Her unfortunate death takes place in the shadow of a new community, the dawning of a new life for the aged of our galaxy. Although death is never easy to accept, we must remember that the tragic accident which took her from our midst occurred while she was on duty. If a member of StarCon must perish for some reason, there is no more honorable way. It is part of the oath we recite and take to heart when we pledge our allegiance. I believe her friend, Janitor Second Class Roger Wilco, has a few words he'd like to say. Mr. Wilco?
I only knew Stellar for a short time. I wish I could have gotten to know her much better. To have had a deeper understanding of this, person. I was proud to have called friend. Of my friend, I can only say this. Of all the souls I have encountered in my cleaning, hers were the most scuff-resistant.
You get fingerprints all over. Looks like you have a message waiting for you.
Wow, a message for me. I must be getting popular. I wonder what it is.
Roger, help me. I only have a moment. They faked.
Stellar, what happened? The picture's gone. You're alive?
Commander Kilbasa, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I've just received a distress message on my compost. And it was from Stellar.
Wilco, have you been whiffing cleaning fluid again?
I'm absolutely as sane as I've ever been. She's being held on Delta Berxilon by Sharpay.
Wilco, do you realize how irrational that sounds? We buried Stellar. You were there. Maybe you need a rest. Take a couple of hours off.
Sir!
Wilco, we have our orders from StarCon and we'll be carrying them out. Drop it, Janitor. Leave the bridge now, Wilco. I've made my decision.
That's Dorf, the ship's chief of security. With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can adjust the elevation, tilt, rotation, and firmness level of his command center. And if you put in a quarter, it'll massage 320 different acupressure points. This is the science station, housing the advanced sensor systems, extended computer reference modules, and pattern detectors. This station houses the security and tactical arrays. This is the engineering station where the power grids and engines are constantly monitored to make sure they're within StarCon spec. Or at least somewhere around a point close to an approximation of the same general idea of StarCon spec.